differences.
How is Sosha actually? I've heard of Sosha's dangerous.
We had that conversation on our way here. I've heard Mamelodi is dangerous.
It's just a statement.
Exactly.
Like say, they will stab you.
Let me know.
Exactly. Let's go there and then ask somebody from there. I'm in Peli a lot. That place, it's chilled.
What's up, everybody? My name is Fizzhoe, better known as Miss Mona Lisa herself, all the way from 012, Mamelodi's finest. Welcome to the Mormuse podcast. My guest today is, of course,
Fizzhoe soda pop.
Fizzhoe. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, just correct me. Fizzhoe. I'm saying it correctly.
It's Fizzhoe, but then say it as one word. Don't delay and create space in between. Fizzhoe, yeah.
Fizzhoe.
Yeah.
Okay, why the name Fizzhoe?
Okay, the name came about some years back. Okay, it used to just be Fizzhoe, Fizzzo. And at the time when it was just Fizzzo, I was the plug, the guy you'd go to when you need girls for videos, girls for clubs, and so on and on and on. So it became like Fizz got the hose, and before I knew it, everybody was just.
Y'all catch that? Yeah, okay. So you're a bit of a promoter. That department since you knew people. Yeah,
I was like a very social person, and just one of those people that blends in with every different type of crowd.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's not your first time here. It's not your first time on the Mormuse podcast.
No, it's not.
So we had you when we first started our lives, right? From then to now, do you think you feel more? Because some people were crying, "Oh no, we were alive, but now we want to be part, we want to be there."
Yeah, it's actually, it makes a difference in person, because remember, there's now I'm able to actually see the expressions much better. It's always easier to communicate in person than over a phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just tell me quickly, when did you start making music?
Okay, I started making music in primary school. I can't remember the exact year, but it was sometime, I would say, if I'm to guess, maybe 2007.
2007. I was 7 years old.
Yeah, so that's around about primary school time.
How old are you? Wait, sorry.
I'm 25, turning 26. Pretty much, we can just say, round it off.
Okay. So I'm the child. I'm young. Okay. Specifically, you do hip hop, or you dwell on other genres as well?
Okay. Let me explain how I started. Right. I started off by doing poetry. In schools, from time to time, there's those talent shows and so on. And as a kid, it was just exciting to be part of it. So I started off as doing poetry. Then over the years, because it's always until now actually, you don't come across many poets unless you go into theater and so on. So I was a poet exposed to musicians. And poetry, it's much easier to categorize it with hip hop, because hip hop is poetry. So from there, I started doing poetry on beats, and I'd get advice from friends, my brother, and family saying, try do it faster. And before I knew it, I found myself rapping.
And that's how you became Fizzhoe.
Yes, that's how Fizzhoe was born.
Never tried singing?
I've tried.
How did that go?
It works sometimes. I think it depends on how well I communicate with my producer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's a producer. How does he do singing wise? Is he bad? He's okay. Oh, what's up? What about you are there. No,
yeah, but when we're in studio, they're like, he hit him fun.
Don't they all?
Yeah.
I feel like I hate producers for this. Because sometimes it's misleading.
Yeah.
Because now Utuputoro can like shop inside. But it's not the one.
It's not the one, yeah.
You know? I like the fact that you actually came with your producer and your brother, so I'm guessing they play a very dominant role in who you are.
Yes, they do. Actually, earlier on in the morning, because wherever I go, right, my producer is always there.
Yeah.
So me and my brother, from time to time, we have just time when we talk about the people in our lives and the role they play. And my producer happens to be somebody we talk about very often. One of those, remember when the time Nino did this, remember the time that and so on. So it actually also helps appreciate the people that help make a difference in my life, and I just hope I also make a difference in their lives.
Okay, so you are the only child? I mean, you and your brother the only?
We are 4 boys.
4 boys?
4 boys, yes.
4 boys?
No, 3 boys.
3 boys?
Where am I getting the 4th one? It's 3 boys. I'm the last born, and then it's him. Then we have our older brother, the oldest brother.
So, okay, wait, I'm lost. It's you, it's him, it's the older brother, and then?
No, that's all.
So only 3.
3, yes. I don't know where I got the 4 from.
Maybe you want a baby brother.
You can adopt me.
I will go home together from here.
Okay, so how did your mom first react to everything that you do right now?
Okay, I won't lie. My mom is pretty much my best friend, right? So my mom has always been that person from the start. She was, whenever I need like maybe transfer money to go to shows, maybe for studio time, I would go to my mom first before anybody else, and then she would always make it happen, right? In the early stages, my dad was pretty much the one that was not, I don't know if I can say he was not supportive, because to me he would tell me focus on school. And then when I visit his workplace, his colleagues are telling me, we heard you have a show. We heard your show.
So meaning he was supporting is just as our bond.
Yes, he wasn't making it clear, because he wanted me to focus on school. And at the time, there's a time when my parents thought it's just a phase.
Yeah.
Let him enjoy himself. It's just a phase. It's going to eventually dry out.
Until they saw her I'm packed.
When they realize that no, it's happening, when there's so money coming in, they're like, okay. That's when they're like, yes.
Parents buy what you do when they see a movement.
Yeah, because it's always a matter of, it's not a real job. That can't do this, it can't pay that. But when they see it happen, that's when they start like,
So you've had support from the get-go?
From the get-go.
That's good. I mean, support from family is a very sensitive topic, because not every person has can say, oh no, my family supported me, got this, this and this, So it's good that you actually have the backup. You don't stress, I'm doing this, but go high.
They don't approve, yes.
Is there anybody else that you confide in besides your family as to
okay,
music-wise, a best friend?
Yes. Okay. My mom has 2 other sisters, right? They are people that, growing up, whenever I needed stuff like maybe equipment, I would always go to them. When I needed maybe financial help in terms of my music, I would go to them. So they're pretty much like twins. The way my mom treated me is the same way they treated me. And I also had a friend who we actually buried sometime last week. He was also that person who, it's like our friendship didn't make sense to people, but then when we were together, our friendship made sense. So he was that person that, I don't know, he just always knew when I'm going through something. Those people that just hit you up at the right time and it never makes sense. So he was always that kind of a friend. And yeah, he's also helped a lot. The last time we spoke, right, sometime early last month, we were on a video call, and then he asked me about a song that I did. I think I was in grade 8 at the time. He started singing
so he
it.
Remembers.
That's the thing with him. He always knew all the lyrics, and I would actually go to him and ask him, bro, what did I say on that other song? And then he knew. And yeah, so he was very supportive, because I mean, if somebody remembers stuff about you that you don't, it means they paid attention from the start.
True.
So yes.
Funny, this is a question I ask, because we must be honest with each other. Women play a very important role in our lives. So are you in a relationship currently?
Currently, yes, I am.
Okay.
And
supportive?
Yes, she is supportive. She's one of those people that she's not really a sentimental person. She's more of a serious person, but the kind of things she say unknowingly does kind of give me a drive in a way, because they always say a woman makes a man,
Of course.
right? So take note.
Yes.
So yeah, it's pretty much of that, because there's always constant communication. There's that emotional support. There's just that support in general. So it gives me a reason to want to wake up every day, a drive. So yes, for as long as it will last.
That's true.
The reality. Yes, we need to face reality as well.
Hey, that's something else, I must say. But honestly, I love the fact that she's in your life and she's present, as to, of course, giving you a drive.
Where it matters, yeah.
Yeah, where it matters most, because sometimes we find ourselves in situations where our partners are not aware of our lives, to a point where they want to probably be led by how they should support you, and it's nothing bad,
Okay.
but I feel like in this case, as women, we play, as you said now, women do what? Women do what?
They make a man.
They make a man. Okay. How did you feel when you first got on stage?
Okay, first time I got on stage, right?
Yeah.
It was a talent show again.
Yeah.
It was in high school. My brother was one of the judges, right? So it was. I still have the video of the performance. Lucky enough, I uploaded. I knew how to use YouTube back then, so it's somewhere online. So it was at first I was like, before I got on stage, it was a bit frightening. But like I said, I've always been a social person. So legit, I socialize with everybody. In school there's the nerds, there's those suspicious ones, there's the busy ones. I blended with every group. So pretty much everybody was my friend. And before I got on stage, I spoke to them. They knew I was going to perform and I needed their support to hype me up. So when I got on stage, before I got on stage, I was a bit frightened. And then once I got on stage, I was like, no man, I got this. And while performing, my brother got off from the judge's seat and he came on stage.
That's a good brother. You're hype man number one.
So it was a very nice experience. I mean, especially for the first performance, and it gave me that I can continue doing this.
Yeah, the fire you got.
The fire, exactly. So it was a nice experience.
And then now, how do you feel now? Because of course it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
From when you started to how you present yourself, Manje.
Okay. The way it feels now, it's actually even much better. I don't know if. Yes, and apart from that, I don't know if you've seen any of my performance videos or been to one of my performances, but whenever I perform, people sing along. So they do have the job for me.
You have support.
Yes, I have support. So it's a very nice feeling.
Okay, so your audience are fully aware of who Fizzhoe is. They support your music. They know about you. Yeah. How do you engage with them?
How I engage with them. Okay.
Do you release frequently? Do you give them what they want?
I don't release frequently. The reason my releases had been delayed, right? I was working on an EP titled Only Us. So this EP had to be specific on what it's about. And along the way, music is pretty much what you go through on a daily. So along the way, certain events took place that interrupted the whole spirit of the EP, which now led me to making a different one, which is scheduled for release next week. It's titled Heard About Me Too. So yeah.
What's behind that? What motivated that? What inspired the current project?
The current project is pretty much about, when I perform, in most places where I perform, people want a vibe, right? And if I'm being honest, I'm not really an artist for a vibe. I'm more of a sentimental artist. I storytell.
You speak to the mind or heart?
Yes.
Which?
From the heart. I speak from the heart.
Okay.
And Heard About Me is more from the mind, because that is what people wanna vibe to.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much Heard About Me. It's just to reintroduce myself with the vibe that people knew at first, so that they can pay more attention before I finish with the EP, Only Us EP, then give them the real part of me.
What difficulties have you faced from when you first started till now?
In terms of career-wise,
from bookings to presentation to who you are music-wise.
Okay, it's hard to say, right? Because the difficulties I would say I can think of is, I would say maybe lack of resources. Lack of resources. As for finances, I can't say finance was a challenge. I'm not saying I had the finances, but I've always been somebody who looked at it as whatever I want from somebody, they also want something. So it was always a matter of finding out what somebody wants in return. For example, the music video Hello. I have a music video called Hello. I didn't pay for it. I didn't have the finances at the time, and so I found somebody who was able to work on it, and I found out who was willing as well, and I tried to look for what does he want, and this was somebody who has equipment but he's unable to use it. So a deal I made with him was, and I have resources with clubs, right? I know club owners. So it was a matter of do my video and I'll get you a job at this club.
So Pila marketing for you is smooth, knowing that you know people.
Yeah, pretty much. And the reason I know people is because as an artist, I never approached it as I want to know producers, I want to know beat makers, I want to know. It was always wanting to get involved from the beginning so that I have the resources, and it's not resources where I need to argue too much. It's resources whereby I find myself in position to call shots.
That's good. I feel like the direction you chose to go about this is key. Why? Because as artists, sometimes we want to know certain people to get somewhere. I understand. But now, how about working around that? Because that's what you're doing currently. And then who have you worked with? And you said you're from?
Originally, I'm from Zimbabwe.
You're from Zimbabwe.
Because I might get that.
Okay, so
I didn't bring a flag,
we should have. I should have had a flag. So you're from Zimbabwe, but you currently stay in
Sosha, yes. I was born and raised in Pretoria.
Whoa! Yeah?
Sunny side.
Hey guys.
A-town.
You're from Lana.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Because when you said, I know you once told me that you're from Sosha. So I was telling my crew the whole time working on our guest is from La. I'm not thinking, or maybe you're also in PTA, so you haven't been Mamelodi.
I've been. I grew up in Pretoria.
So you have friends, you have people that you know the same.
Yeah, quite a number of people.
What do you think about our environment?
It's a nice environment because the only difference is that this is not where I live. So I'm going to be seeing difference from time to time. As much as if you come where I live, you're going to see similarities, but then you're still going to see some differences.
How is Sosha actually? I've heard of Sosha's dangerous.
We had that conversation on our way here. I've heard Mamelodi is dangerous.
It's just a statement.
Exactly.
Like saying, they will stab you.
Let me know.
Exactly. Let's go there and then ask somebody from there. I'm in Peli a lot. That place, it's chilled.
I will never.
But like, it's what happens in Pretoria if you think about it. Every hood is supposedly scared of the other one.
Yes, that's how it is.
We like, the most dominating group. We make up Pretoria, so we shouldn't be afraid of each other. Back then they were not. Back in 2005 or 6, you're like, I know I'm from Pele, but I'm gonna go to party.
That's true. And then
Now we come to Mamelodi during the day.
Come and
okay, that's true. You can't during the day. Push up, FIFA, when everybody's doing their own things. Are down here at night.
We want it when there's witnesses. When it gets quiet.
sleep.
No, we should. Not right now. You have to understand when they're sleeping. Baba, when they're up, when they're sleeping, sleep. When they're up, they're woke.
You know, actually, I have a story in Mamelodi.
Did it rob you?
No. I was here for a show, Miss Mamelodi something, those beauty pigeons, right?
Yeah.
And our transport, the time it was leaving, me and the person I was with, Mr. Alive, he's an event organizer. The time everybody was leaving, he decided, let's stay a bit longer. So we found ourselves in a situation where we didn't have transport and we couldn't get transport for some reason, right?
Yeah.
And
From or to?
back to town.
Back, okay.
From here back to town, and we actually got transport from the police. I don't know, we just
So they're around.
yeah, they were nearby just patrolling, and then we
Okay.
stopped them and asked about where we can get transport. I think that was my first time this side.
Yeah.
Both our first times. And where we were, it was just there was no movement there. They were just your regular cars, and we don't know who to ask because we've heard stories about this place. So we spoke to the police. They're like, hop in. They drove us all the way there, and they actually got out of that due restriction.
True.
And then-
because unal department they know them clear.
Exactly. So, and we tried to pay them like, thank you for, I mean, it's not a bribe.
Yes.
It's
not,
and they refused.
Just have to say it's not bribe. Yes.
Yes, they refused, and I was actually like, okay, that's a nice thing, and expected nothing. So
Really for you.
so like, Mamelodi is not bad.
You don't stay here. Better you say it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Oh, you live here,
And I
Down
live
to the
here.
west side.
yeah, maybe she lives on the wrong side.
But I was raised in the east.
When you are east, you don't want to come here. Child.
I saw East full of fun.
Huh?
I was in Sosha.
Still was an extension 4.
You are alive. So.
Yeah. I saw Mamelodi East Calvary before my very eyes. When Nyaupe was at its peak. And next door there was a Nyaupe there. They would steal a car beat the living ish out of them once upon a time.
Snakes.
Hi guys, where do you live? I'll never live in Lusaka or 4. Those two. No, it's a
That
no
looks
go.
beautiful now. It was ugly back then.
Yeah, it was like even
Sure.
But then West, guys. West is like the most peaceful place ever.
It's just busy.
Yes, because they always party.
Okay.
Or maybe you know the people there, so they wouldn't bother you, so you don't know they're bothering anybody else.
I can walk with you, bro.
Maybe.
They will never do anything to you.
Okay.
So I ask you, who are you?
Hey, that who are you question, I don't like it.
You should come with.
This is very fun.
Oh, it's fine. Nice shoes, man.
Then you know. See, I just saved you.
Just need a name.
Being from Sosha, how has people warmed up to who Fizzhoe is and what you do?
Okay, in my hood, right?
Okay.
Like legit, whenever I walk, it's always Fizzhoe.
So they recognize.
Yeah, and apart from that, cause I have my own studio, right? Okay, I don't work in my own studio. I work at my producer studio, but then my studio, it's pretty much like the studio for the community. So all the kids, whoever just says,
That's so good.
they come to. So it's having that kind of a relationship where the kids like you, obviously, which will lead to their parents liking you, the elders, and then there's then there's my peers who I socialize with, and then so it's like you find yourself in a situation where the whole neighborhood likes you. So that's pretty much how it is with me in my neighborhood. So if you find yourself in trouble, just say easy fees. Like, oh, sorry, please don't tell him.
Short of social.
F West, but before F West, I lived in Block T, Sugar Lane.
So you're,
The head stone is a bunch.
That's where the music started.
wait, so you guys are familiar with that side of
I have family in Sosha. I like G. Yeah, I have family there. I attended school in Mamelodi.
Yeah.
But then the guy who would take me home has to go to his house in Sosha and then go back to Mamelodi. So like I traveled Sosha for a year. I also have family.
So
Yeah.
it's not dangerous. That side.
Nothing happened to me.
Okay.
Is it dangerous?
There's like
Let me tell you, Jugulane, it's dangerous that side, but the reason, even up to now, the reason it's not dangerous for me, cause the danger in that neighborhood are people who most likely saw me when I was a kid,
Okay.
and I always paid my street tax. Those 2 rands I would ask for. You understand? Growing up,
No.
so when you watch somebody grow up and now they're your peers, you wouldn't want to harm them.
Yeah.
It would
yeah.
just be a normal conversation if you're trying to hustle them or stuff like that. And also, being there, I got to know people.
So we can say that being known is not so bad.
It's not so bad.
It's in fact an advantage.
Yeah, it also depends on what you're known for.
Yeah. They know you to other things. Then it's just danger.
Yeah.
You know? How are we looking time? Okay. Okay. When do you plan on releasing next? You said next week.
Sometime next week, yes.
What is the project about again?
Heard about Me Too. It's about this party.
This has so a party.
Yeah, a party vibe, but it also has the let's say the outro of the EP is pretty much it's a bit sentimental. It's kind of like summing up the whole journey.
Yeah.
It sums up the whole journey in a song. The questions you asked, what have I been through? And it's not really the physical part of what I've been through, but the part that I never told anybody, that the part that you never really have words for.
Are we expecting visuals?
Yes, a lot of visuals for the rest of this year, not just for the EP, but for everything else to follow. Because I don't have that much visuals, and I don't really know how I managed to build my brand without visuals. But visuals is something I'm going to be doing a lot of this year. The first visuals we're working on will be sometime next month, around 18 July.
So we can
Yes.
highlight what the visuals are a key factor to a brand.
Yes.
Because we can see on social media, man, that's what's driving the streets. So, of
And
course,
up-
that will raise numbers as well, yeah?
Yes. Also, apart from driving the streets, right? One thing with visuals, when you release a song, there's a chance that people will just like. There's this. Okay, I also do graphics, right? There's the guy who did the Umlando. Yeah. So there's a. What's his name?
Because
Yes, I did a poster for. There's a event that is sometime is it this weekend, an event where he's. So when they send me his picture, I sorted out and everything. Then in brackets they wanted me to write Umlando hit singer. And I was like, is this guy? So because I hardly watch visuals, right? But then looking at how I reacted to that, it meant if somebody just knows the audio, the time they see your visuals and it's a different song, it's the chances of them knowing that it's the same person are slimmer than if they just know the song from the video.
so probably if you only wrote the name, I'd be
I was like,
who's tossed, but
Like
now
some upcoming artist, it will
Yeah.
seem like that. Well,
the moment I
yeah.
know what or who exactly he is, automatically people will have a drive to actually
Yeah.
say, okay, no, cool, I'm going.
Yes.
Let's go party.
Yes, and it will drive ticket sales.
And this is a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Is it a big marketing strategy, or do you think event organizers use it a lot?
Yeah, it is. Well, you know, everything works to its limit. Cause I mean, Casper, nobody's gonna wanna write Doc Shibeleza Hitmaker.
Okay.
You know, cause
We
it gets to a
already know
point.
Casper is.
Yes, we already know who he is, and also at the same time, I think what really works the best is consistency. Cause I've worked with a number of artists that are consistent with their releases, right? And in most cases, these artists they hardly perform, right? They don't even promote their songs to that extent, but then they get a lot of streams, right? As in organic streams. And the secret is being consistent. Because when you're consistent, if somebody comes to your Spotify, they see a song this week, right? Next week they come back to listen to that same song, then they see there's a new song. You understand? And then they start seeing that there's consistency in release, and they like the previous, they're looking forward to the next. So they get to a point where they're constantly looking forward to your music. And then the moment they hear that there's a video, they check it out. There's a show, they're like, I'm going there. You know, so consistency is pretty much the major key.
Who have you worked with? Mention a couple people that you've engaged with, collaboration wise as well.
Okay, in terms of performances, right? Like I said, I know a lot of club owners. So in most cases, most of my performances, I'm usually opening for like big artists, right? I've opened for Casper at Vanity. I don't know, is it still there? Vanity.
Where is it?
Somewhere behind Unisa, that aeroplane one looking. Vanity. Vanity nightclub.
The only thing I know behind Unisa is Fountains Bay.
Yeah, it's somewhere there, but it was quite a big club for the Tulufelo club tour. When he released the Tulufelo, yes, I opened for him there. Same place I've opened for, was it Saudi? But on my profile it's Saudi MT because all of them performed just after. I've opened for Election, Too Fresh, Zodwa, Dibanj.
So you're quite fresh, hey?
Yes, quite a number of people. And in terms of collabs, let's see, the biggest artist I can say I've worked with is, I don't know, you know, Lucidius.
Do you know Lucidius?
Lucidius. What about NF?
Do you know NF? You know NF?
Okay, Lucidius is somebody that is pretty much in the same category as NF because there are those, they make songs for maybe suicidal kids, people dealing with depression and so on. So yes, I have a song I worked on with him. It's actually a remix to an original song, and a number of people were questioning the feature, and so I had to speak to him on Instagram to get like an approval statement written, because it was not an official song. It was something pretty much to hype up my EP, because my EP worked along in those lines. So it was to hype it up, and that was pretty much the arrangements for that song.
I love your state of mind as to everything. You're so aware of everything. You're in order. You know, and so many artists don't have the knowledge that you have right now, which is a problem to me. You know, that is the reason for the Mormuse podcast, because I feel like it's important to highlight certain key factors as to how to go forward as a brand. You know, so your social platforms, where can people find you, your music, everything?
Just Fizzhoe. Just search the easiest way, right? Just it's Fizzhoe, FIZZHOE on Google, and then my knowledge panel will appear there. Then you can just check out, because in most cases people just search maybe on Spotify, the digital platforms, but I have mixtapes on SoundCloud, so there's music available there as well, you know, my old stuff. You know,
you'll find everything there.
Yes, so it's just Fizzhoe on all social media.
What do you think of the Mormuse podcast and what we're trying to push?
Can you ask your question?
What do you think of the Mormuse podcast and what we're pushing?
Okay, you know, I like I like it now. I like the concept. And what I like about it is sometime in 2012, there's a time we tried to start something, not as a podcast, but as a group. Remember when we used to move in crews and so on, and it never really worked out, right? So what I like is, because when I got here, the way you guys were communicating, I'm like, no man, these people, I'm waiting for you to tell me something. That's my brother. That's my brother. That's my brother. Because you guys are like a family. You're coordinated and you're in sync, and you're just vibing. So it's always nice when, let's consider this as a workplace. It's always nice when people are one in a workplace. So that's what I like about it. And yes, I don't know. That's what I like about it. So.
Are you shy?
Sometimes. Maybe.
I'm literally picking that up. But I love the fact that you focus, music-wise, brand-wise, you seem to have a knowledge of certain factors. And it's important that I actually bring people like you on board. So that people take notes now, because, okay, this is how I can go about things, But anyway, thank you so much for coming to the Mormuse podcast. Thank you for actually making time to come so far, guys. Sosha is far.
Thank you guys for having me here. Thank you so much for having me here.
Alright, it's a pleasure. I really feel we need to work, on so many things together and as a crew. I believe in collaboration more than anything. As a crew, managing.
And sharing resources.
You understand what I mean? But yeah, what do you think of how we pitch things as a whole?
As a whole, can you?
So you've seen our social platforms.
Yes.
Yeah? And what do you think from your view as a person that deals so much?
Okay. Okay.
If we're lacking someone, tell us so that we.
Yes. Okay. One thing, cause I like, cause I also do marketing, right?
Yeah. That's why this question.
Okay.
Specific.
One thing I came across, cause I'm constantly just searching to see what company is doing what are they doing, how they're doing it.
Yeah.
So one thing I came across yesterday, Shein, right? They sell clothes. It's an app. I don't know, it's an app or it's a website.
Yeah.
They sell clothes and stuff like that. So I went through their Facebook and they legit have a section where they're posting fleets, jokes, things that has nothing to do with what they are doing. So I'm not saying do something extra that has nothing to do with what you guys are doing, but maybe you could also have a platform for people that you don't necessarily want to interview, but you want their input. You understand? Where you share their like the questions you're asking me. You can ask questions to people online and have them do videos telling you their responses, and then that way you can engage with more people and hear other people's opinions, kind of like a radio station where callers can call in. So
that's great information for my producer as that's his department.
Noted.
Anyway, my name is of course Palisa Paco, better known as Miss Mona Lisa herself. My guest today was Fizzhoe, all the way from Sosha. Guys, can you imagine? I mean, if you told me about going where, I was not.
Our cool so next week.
No way.
We should go.
Never. Please just perform for us. Bless us with something on the spot.
Okay, since our conversation started with poetry, how about a poem?
That's great.
Okay. Do I have to stand up or right here?
Right there.
Okay.
Drink water, be ready, be fine.
Okay, this is a love poem. It's titled Without You.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready? Yeah, no, I'm processing it. Okay, it comes. Me without you, a gig without braces, a book without pages, a sentence without spaces. Me without you, a dog without fur, a cat that doesn't purr, a cold without a cure. Me without you isn't me to be sure, so I wrote this for you. From the first time I met you, I felt the connection, and every second since then there's been nothing short of perfection. I adore every section that comprises you. It's like you're an angel, just disguised as you. Mesmerize every time that I can view your undeniable kindness that shines out from inside of you. But my eyes stay glued at your chance of moving. When they glance at your enchanting beauty, you got a smile so soothing and a sweetness like peaches that reaches deep in my soul as my feelings increases. I wanna mend all the pieces of your heart being mistreated. I'm not like the others, the past won't be repeated. I wanna erase all the bad and replace it with good. Help you escape from the pain and make you feel like you should. Cause I could never hurt a person so perfect. You deserve the world and it less isn't worth it. Cause me without you isn't me to be sure. So I wrote this for you.
Check how focused my crew is. That's what I'm holding it in on. I laugh so much. Try. Are you laugh? The way I saw.
They froze.
I'm gonna send it to my woman too.
Taken by
Like, babe,
Segment.
I'll send you the lyrics. Like, babe, I wrote you a poem.
I showed you. I stole a poem. I stole it.
Alright, thank you so much for watching today's episode, guys. Please do make sure to follow Fizzhoe on all his social platforms. Don't forget to follow the Mormuse podcast on all social platforms. My name is Tsakane, signing out.